All right. Well, welcome back to the Battlefield Show. We're in overtime here, talking with ZenaFPS, and we're gonna go over a few topics here. Let's just go. Let's just hop right into the brand spanking new news here of developers being asked if 3D spotting will be added back, and it looks like they are planning to add 3D spotting back into base game 2042. Now, just for some background here, 3D spotting was in a lot of the previous Battlefield games, and it has been since Battlefield 5 it has kind of been changed or evolved into a pinging system, kind of similar to how Apex worked in one, or how Apex works right now. It's not as good as Apex, but that is what they went for when it comes to 3D spotting. Also in 2042 Portal, there's an option for your servers to have 3D spotting, like pressing Q on an enemy will then have the little Dorito over their head, and then you can spot them on the minimap. So, thoughts? What do you guys think on this? Let's just start with Zena. What what do you think about all this issue? Or actually, you know what? What did these devs say, Gravity? Let's go with that first,
So
and then we'll talk about it. Sorry about
Florian,
that.
of course, our lovely Florian says, yeah, the ping system's getting an update that removes location ping and makes all pings contextual and adds spotting. Now, the add spotting part is interesting because I'm assuming it
Hmm.
just adds a Dorito 3 on your UI in front of you at some point. I would hope it doesn't like add like a pake type spot. If you've played 2042, you probably know that if you ping something in the normal game right now, not only does your teammates rarely ever see the ping because the game does because that just doesn't work, but the thing that you ping, it targets the spot that target was at that given point of time, meaning it doesn't follow the person if they move or the vehicle if they move. So if you spot something, that vehicle could be 20 miles away whenever your teammates look at it within a couple minutes. But that ping will remain there. So yeah, that's completely broken and doesn't really work. And I'm glad they're going to go and fix it. He says this should give some responsiveness to the system and make information shared always relevant and less out of date. That's perfect. That's what we want. What we don't want, in my opinion, is we don't want things to be spotted all the time. We don't want an ability to like completely give away a whole team's location or
Right. I
information.
hate
That's
that.
what we don't want. So we'll see what they
You're
do.
spotted.
Yeah.
Remember, you're spotted in BF5.
Oh yeah.
Can you zoom into that a little bit more
I
there?
sure can. Yeah. So it says we are
Let's see
planning a
if we got.
significant rework of the ping system. These changes are aimed at reducing the complexity of the existing ping system that we have in the game today. I don't know what that means because all you have to do is hit Q for it. Um, this should hopefully allow for improvements to the pacing and accuracy of communication between your teammates. That's great. And then on another thing on the Battlefield, the EA forums, we have a post from Total FPS, one of the community managers, says we're planning a perfectly, let's see, rework of the ping system. These changes are aimed at reducing. Okay, so we copied Florian. Pressing the ping button once
Okay.
will no longer place a location ping, but instead check for targets in that area and
Oh
place a
God.
ping in relation to the. Whoa! If a threat is within the radius, it will get pinged or spotted for. Okay, that's a whole huge. Okay, spots are still shared to the team, while pings are shared to your squad.
What in the wait? Well, what?
Yeah,
Threat radius. Now we're talking like a foot, right? Or are we talking like 6 meters or something? I guess they didn't really explain. That's kind of concerning. Hmm. Will no longer place a location ping, but instead check for targets in the area. What does that mean?
that almost makes it seem like okay. So you know how the helicopters have that sensor, the proximity sensor. What that makes it
Yeah.
sound like is whenever you spot an area, it like puts a proximity sensor in that area, so you can kind of see like a little pulse there. Um, Like they
All
would do maybe a
right.
single target, what do you want to call them? Pokeball, motion sensor ball type thing, a
Okay.
brief thing that would spot enemies briefly nearby.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just
I'm
a
Wow.
single pulse.
Yeah, I would assume it would be a single pulse per spot.
But like we're talking a few feet here, then
I would hope it's a few feet, but
I
even
would
still,
hope. You don't
I
want
mean,
to spot
if
people
you're in a
behind.
breakthrough game, I could just imagine a lot of people being spotted really quickly.
Yeah, you don't want to spot people behind walls if it's some sort of weird radius.
Well, here's the interesting thing: it says spots are still shared with your team, but pings. So pings would be the motion ball, the spots here. So what we're talking about is if you press Q, the only people that are going to see your motion ball pulse is going to be your squad. So that's not the worst thing in the world, I guess.
Hmm. Well, whatever's more responsive, um, you know, the better, I guess. But you don't want to be spotting multiple targets in one ping. Like,
No.
I don't know if that's a great idea.
What do you think, Zena?
That's what the motion ball is for,
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't know.
I like the way some of this is set up. Like if the team if a random blueberry is able to like put Doritos on the enemy so that an air support can come in and see the enemy better, I think that's good. And like if your pings can communicate better with your squad, you know, like your squad knows if they see a ping, then that's coming from someone within the squad. It's not interfering with the team, 100 players or whatever. Like it's not confusing. So that little aspect of it is good, I think. I don't understand the whole little procs ping. I don't understand what's going on with that.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how that will add to gameplay. I need to see maybe full patch notes or see it in the game.
This kind of gets me scared because 3D spotting was a huge issue in the past.
It
Where,
could be.
The
yeah,
thing about 2042 is every player in the entire lobby is spotted almost the entire game anyway, because you've got Casper's drone, you've got
Yes.
SoFlam, you've got a Nightbird with a little spotter seat, you've got a Mav with a spotter seat. Every player knows where everybody is anyway. There's 100 procs nades all over the map. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion. That's why half the time a suppressor not even useful, because everyone knows where everyone is. So there's
Yeah, in the
the
past, the 3D spotting really came into effect when you were playing infantry and your squad mate spotted somebody and it would place a Dorito over their head and it would, like put them on the UI for your teammates or for your squad mates, and that was helpful to
that's
a
the whole
point.
thing.
This doesn't even do that. This is the thing that is confusing me is there seems to be a difference between spots and pings here, and
Hmm.
pings seem to be the new thing, but spots are the same. So if you see, it's no longer place a location ping, which is not what we. That was kind of dumb because we didn't want the location ping because it was useless. But if we spot an actual target, we want the spot to follow. We want that to make sure that that's up to date information. So, yeah.
There's a lot of comments down below. A lot of bad takes too. One guy is like, "Yo, what if the roles were reversed and pings were shown to the entire team?" No.
please no.
No.
God.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared. I actually, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do here, but I 3D spotting is fine. I'm used to that shit. Like it's just part of Battlefield. I've been doing it for years. Ping system just seems less gratifying. It's just like he's over there somewhere. Like he's there somewhere. And that's cool. That's good for balance. It gives the other enemy like a shot to escape. But in other games, once you're spotted, like you can't hide. Like you're screwed. They'll find you using the mini map. Um, but the 3D spotting it was more like a crutch, really, than anything else, especially in older Battlefield titles. You just shoot the Dorito, like that's all you did. Especially it was a huge problem shooting people with Doritos through smoke or through hazy environments or in dark areas. People just spam the shit out of it and use it as a crutch. So I don't know. I don't as long as they make it more responsive in the ping system, then I'm okay with that. Right now it's kind of broken in my opinion because when my friends are downed and they are spotting or like yelling at me saying, "There's a guy there," I can only hear it, the ping, but I can't see it sometimes. Sometimes I can see it, sometimes I don't. So it's kind of, if they can improve that, that'll be good. But,
yeah, I think this is
that's
one
my
of those things that
cents.
we're gonna have to wait and see how it's implemented, because
It's kind of scary. I don't know. I don't know if we should be touching this.
Here's the thing: if I press Q on an area and it suddenly lights up a group of 4 or something like that.
Yeah, that's how I read that.
That's. I don't want that though. I want to have, if I see a person a mile away, I want to hit Q and spot the Dorito on their head, and just kind of make sure I can track them for a little bit. That's it. That's all I want to do.
Think of it like this, Gravity.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. You know RAW? You guys play with RAW, right?
No.
Okay, well, if you play with RAW, you can hack a person, right? But you have to literally have your crosshair on the guy to hack him. And that does a whole spotting mechanic there on its own. But that's something maybe they're trying to do. Maybe it's something similar to that. But see, that's the thing. Like, have the specialists do that. Like, have that be a specialist perk instead of everyone being able to do this weird pinging 3D spotting thing. Because if you're, like it says there, if you're pinging an area and all of a sudden 4 people are like gathered in one area and you spot all of them at once, that's what the motion ball's for. Not for pinging, you can only see what you can see, right? That's where I'm scared about that, but anyway.
Yeah. I think this is going to be one of those things that they might implement it and it might get just taken away right off the bat. Who knows?
True.
I think one of the
need to
interesting
test
things.
this shit.
I think one of the interesting things about this, people are kind of, there are counterpoints that people are making here about, maybe there is you don't want everything to be spotted, right? The whole point of it is maybe you should at some points have an ability to hide somewhere for a brief minute without being spotted. That's kind of how. That's probably a good thing. You shouldn't have to, worried about having somebody press Q and like, oh, there's a person there. What if you're trying to chase somebody and they jump behind a car or something like that, and you just spot the car, and then it just the whole area lights up, and hey, you know where they are, which car they're hiding behind, or which box they're hiding behind, and you're not even far away. I think that just kind of ruins that element of, close quarters combat, that the person that you're chasing with low health has a chance against you. Yeah. Like I said, it's interesting.
What do you think, Zena? Final words on this?
I just need to see it in game before I make a final judgment, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, let's move on to the next topic.